myself alone thinking just of you. You got me dancing, dancing. Why don't you help me? Why don't you guide me? Why don't you promise to stand beside me? There's once a man in a foreign land fell in love with a woman he didn't understand. Love is not a thing you command. Love is something that keeps you dancing, dancing. Why don't you help me? Why don't you guide me? Why don't you promise to stand beside me? I keep on dancing, dancing. Nothing left to say, nothing left to do. Find myself alone thinking just of you. You've got me dancing, dancing. Why don't you help me? Why don't you guide me? Why don't you promise to stand beside me? Dancing, dancing, dancing. You got me. Guide me.
Took my sombrero and the guy in shades of law. I can't believe it, 'cause you've got a man with the guy in shades of law. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can. Don't switch the blade on the guy in shades of law. Took my sombrero and the guy in shades of law. I can't believe it, 'cause you've got a man with the guy in shades of law. I wear my sunglasses.
Store the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, "We love Satan, we wanna eat babies." I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly.
Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Literal vampire pot belly goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go.
We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
Really is a magnificent golden toad. Screw Trump. Trump perfect? Obviously not. Is he an egomaniac? Will turn into a Napoleon Bonaparte? I hope not. See, Trump is goofy looking, but he's toad-like. Toad-like. Trump looks like a giant toad, a golden toad.
as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse. There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around. The hairs on your arm will stand up at the terror in each sip and in each sup. Will you partake of that last offered cup, or disappear into the potter's ground when the man comes around? Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers, 100 million angels singing. Multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum.
It's Saturday night.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven.
Rockin' Rio's here. He's in the laboratory.
There she knows if the stores
Stand by.
are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. It makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. It makes me
Magnificent
wonder.
golden toad.
Really makes me wonder.
Golden toad.
And it's whisper that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason.
Some goblin vomit
And the
slopping blood on
new
it.
day who stand alone. And
But if he's in there rolling around hacking him up and he's got a goblin guide, you know, taking him into the cave, I'm not expecting him to not get dirty, especially up to his ankles. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, having political succubus with goblins. I don't want to see him ingratiating goblins.
Shocking new details.
It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on.
Wandering alone, desolate sky above, nothing to guide, destitute eyes, aimlessly rambling, turn into stone, everything. Calling for you, quickening. Traveling through the fields, sharpening iron and steel, harvesting bones to calcify. You wait for the gathering, turning the steel, listening. To know everything, to be everything. Drifting into the flame, dancing
A magnificent golden toad.
into the fire, abandoning sky, prepared for the reckoning. Calling to me, quickening. To know everything, to be
the sound of games I've never known, in a world of shame. Hey, I'm waking to the sound of games I've never known, in a world of shame. Hail the waking, though he's old and gray. The body moves, but the mind's unchained. Hey, I'm a diamond. I'm spinning play. I am the wheel that turns the day. Hail the waking, though he's old and gray. The body moves, but the mind's unchained. I'm a diamond. I never met a salesman like you before. Lions of the world just ripping us apart. Scratch ran out along the way. Think I got one more word left to say. I never met a salesman like you before. Lions of the world just ripping us apart. Scratch right out, nice and slow. Think I got one more mile left to go.
because she missed the scenery, the native dances and the charming songs. But wait a minute, something's wrong.
Uh-oh.
Mambo Italiano, mambo Italiano, go, go, go. You mixed up Siciliano, all you Calabrese do the mambo like a crazy with a mambo. Don't want a tarantella, mambo. No more the mozzarella, mambo Italiano. Try an enchilada with the fish bacalao.
Rock and Rio. Are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. You ready to get down tonight?
How are we doing the boogie?
Rock and Rio's in the house. Ladies, if you like what you see, let me hear you scream.
Same place, same time.
That's right, they can't see you, bro.
That's right. But they can imagine.
Let me just say,
They can dream.
I used to say that when I emceed the male stripper show. I used to say that, ladies, if you like what you see, let me hear you scream. You got to come out like an officer and a gentleman. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Every male stripper outfit had an officer and a gentleman, skit where they'd play that song. Some dude would come out in his tight whites, with the hat. You know what I mean? I don't understand. What did people like so much about Officer and a Gentleman, dude? Why was it such a love story? Like at the time, it was such a giant movie. It was one of the movies that made Richard Gere as big as he is. Is that Officer and a Gentleman? What was the song from that thing? It was like a slow song. Do you even remember?
I do. I do, but I don't. It was.
Hold on, man.
I can kind of hear it in my head, but I can't. Oh.
I wonder if I could get away with playing a clip from Officer and a Gentleman.
Somebody in the chat will name it before I figure it out.
Put your toes on the edge of that chalk line. I said, put your toes on the edge of the chalk line, you slimy worm. 10, push.
All right, so Richard Gere, he's in here, and he's young with long hair, showing up down at the.
Love lift us up where we belong.
Looks like Louis Gossett Jr. is in here. Looks like he's the man. Here it is, Officer and Gentleman. Yeah, this is where the male stripper would come out. Wearing that uniform, dude.
Who knows what tomorrow brings? In a world few hearts survive.
All I know is the way I feel when it's real.
I can't take it, dude.
You don't like the Joe Cocker?
Is that Joe Cocker?
That's Joe Cocker. And Jennifer something.
What's the other movie? It sounds just like this. Against All Odds. That was another one. It's another one.
There you
right?
go. Jennifer Warren. Yep. Amber's got it.
Yeah. Yeah, Against All Odds. Here's another one. Look at this shit. This is
Scotts Valley Water.
This is what they used to make movies about. And these movies were big. These movies made shitloads of money, man. People were going to the movies watching this shit.
A lot of love stories in the 80s.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every breath with you. Ooh, you're the only one who really knew.
That fucking song was huge, man.
That's Phil Collins, right?
You're right. Do you know how much money that song made?
You just walk away from me when all I can do is watch you leave. 'Cause we shared the life.
You know, he wrote that song to his ex-wife, right?
What?
Yeah, he wrote that song about his ex-wife.
No, man. Oh, look, there's more than one hit off this movie. Look at this shit, dude. Imagine, it's unfathomable how much money was made off of this. Look at this one. Here's another one. Oh, that's the same one.
Yeah, it's
Sounds like that song that guy in the red-haired hillbilly that wrote that song. All of a sudden, it was a giant hit. He wanted to tell everybody, sorry, I got a record contract. Somebody signed the guy. You know the guy I'm talking about? He wrote that song, and everybody was playing it for a while. It was like, I forget what it was. He's from Virginia. He's got red hair.
yeah, I know who you mean.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He just
Carrot Top Country Boy.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is like some dude or whatever. And then everybody found he was driving a beat-up pickup truck, but then everybody found out he was like a billionaire or some shit. He's like, nah, I don't need to do anything. You know, record contracts. And now he's got a record contract. See how it is? It's like when you hear people saying Michelle Obama's never, ever gonna, she's not and never will consider running for president, you know that means she's running for president. You know what I mean?
Who else have you got at this point, right?
Nobody. The Rock, maybe. The Rock. That would be a good.
The Rock might actually beat the Donald.
He might. Don't let Billy hear me saying The Rock.
Why, he doesn't like The Rock?
No, next thing you know, he'll be saying The Rock.
Oh.
He likes The Rock. But I don't think he didn't consider The Rock. I think he was. Who was he considering?
Maybe Hulk Hogan. got some politics in him.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, who was he considering for president this time? If it wasn't Biden, I forget.
I don't know.
Who he had in mind. I think he was he calling Kamala Harris? I don't know.
Well, you know, Harris is a possibility. I think he was going for Gavin Newsom now.
Did you see that Trump? He said, "I call Kamala the laugher." He said because you could tell a lot about a person by the way they laugh. So he must be insinuating that she's crazy. Is what he was insinuating. I thought it was kind of funny. Well,
I would call her Cackling Rose.
Man, these movies, these love stories, dude. I'm just tripping on it. I hadn't been thinking about it, but now that I was just looking at it, I'm thinking, man, these movies made a shitload of money. Like unbelievable amounts of money. I don't know, man. If I like for me, I like the dedication and love story in the movie True Romance with Christian Slater. And Gary Oldman, and Brad Pitt, and who else? What's his nuts from that We're Just Buddies show or whatever? What was that dude? What was that guy's name? You know what I'm talking about. We used to
Charlie Sheen?
No. We used to play the clip of this dude. Hold on.
You're not talking about what's his name?
We used to play this fucking
Chachi Arcola, whatever.
yeah. We used to play this tense scene at the beginning of the show early on. Do you remember?
Here we go.
Let's see if we can get away with it. I'll see if we can get away with it on YouTube right now. The intensity of this scene. We used to play this sometimes before the show. Back in the original early days, huh, Rio?
You're an actor. Act, motherfucker.
Elliot?
Yeah?
Get on your knees.
Oh, no.
What?
So get on your fucking knees! What the fuck? Get the fuck up, the both of you! I know what the fuck I'm doing. You think I'm pretty fucking stupid, don't you? Huh, don't you? No, don't you fucking lie to me, you motherfucker!
He's bluffing you, Elliot. He's bluffing you. Can't you see that?
Come on, I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say, Clarence, you are without a doubt. Shut up! Say it, goddammit. I want to hear you say it. Clarence, you are without a doubt the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen on the face of the planet. Say it! Dumb fucker! Clarence, he didn't do that! All right? Apparently I'm not as dumb as you fucking think I am I, huh? Come on, what the fuck is waiting for us up there, huh? What the fuck's waiting for us? It's gonna shoot him. Tell me I'm gonna pump two in your face right here, right now.
It's not gonna shoot him.
Clean up, motherfucker!
He's gonna shoot him.
Like Nick Carter used to say, if I'm wrong, I swear to God I'll fucking apologize, all right? Something's amiss, I can feel it. If anything out of the ordinary goes down, I swear to God, you are gonna be the first one shot. Clarence, he didn't do anything. What the fuck? Shut up, all right? I'm gonna blow this motherfucker away. Fuck you.
I wish somebody would just come and get me because I don't like this anymore.
Get hold of yourself, you fucking sissy.
And I wish somebody would just come and take me away. Just take me away.
Hang in there, Elliot. God damn it.
I can't take this. I'm sorry, but I just can't. And I knew if somebody would just come to my rescue, everything would be all right.
If someone would just come to his rescue, everything would be all right. Well, you should have thought about that before you were wearing the wire, dude. You know, Christian Slater could sense something was wrong, and he was trying to get him to cop to it. You know? But Rock and Rio, you still there?
I'm here, yes.
You're shocked and awed by the scene there. We got away with that. No one, it didn't even register.
Nice.
Google didn't even notice it. That's good.
They're too busy going after other people now.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the algorithm again.
Yeah, well, what about last week? After the Saturday show, there was 1,400 comments.
Yeah, down to 13.
No, I'm saying there was 1,400 comments. We have a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'm just saying, I've got a screenshot of 6 million subscribers. So let's say we had 6 million subscribers, 1,400 comments would be about right for that number.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, the 1,400 comments disappeared, and now there's only 13 comments. It's like he caught it right at that right moment somehow. I don't know, man. I don't have it here. I mean, I have it. We saved it somewhere. I don't know where it is exactly on here.
It's in the Skype somewhere.
That's what I mean. We have it. I could show it to you, to everybody. I just don't have it on my desktop, and I don't feel like, digging around or whatever.
Anyone? You want to Chesterfield?
No. No. Dennis Hopper shakes his head yes and says no when the dude asks him if he wants a Chesterfield. No. All right. I'm beating around the bush, trying to give you some time to come to terms with whatever's going on over there.
The situation.
Yeah, because I have no idea what you got going on, and I don't want to I don't want to say because I don't want to build it up and then have it not come, clean.
Oh well, I obviously looked at the. I mean, we obviously looked at the speech, right? That the incident happened at last week, and did a little more analysis on it. And I've actually found 2 or 3 other people who have come to the same conclusion. If you look at where the actual sound effects happened as the things were whizzing by the microphone, there is very distinctly at least 2, if not 3 different weapons involved, not counting the sniper shot at the end.
Yeah, well,
and that is, an actual audio analysis of what went past the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's probably a little bit of a touchy topic, but, be aware that the guy on the roof was not the guy.
Yeah, we know, dude. We did a show about it last night and last week.
Well, I mean, I actually have audio proof of it.
No, I believe you. We talked about it last night. And, I mean, we went into the whole thing of it because the thing about it was, for me at least, whichever side of the fence you're on, there was more, there was the patsy and then there was the people that were actually doing the shooting.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that when they missed, why didn't they just, when he came back up, why didn't they just shoot him then? When he came up out of the Secret Service huddle, they could have shot him again. There was 3 people up there with guns. They could have just taken him out, and they didn't. So the thing is what I was saying is, from an odds perspective and from an analysis, I would say it's more likely they had a sharpshooter that could take his ear off than they had somebody there trying to kill him.
Like,
because if they were
a warning,
just saying, if they were trying to kill him, he'd be dead. There's no question. It doesn't matter how much you move. And nobody knows who they. The thing is everybody, all these snipers that are doing this shit, nobody knows who has the real round. Nobody knows who's the one who actually shot the guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. They do that on purpose.
Right.
Even a firing squad, right? 21 guns or whatever. Only one guy's got the real bullet. Everybody else has got blanks. And the reason they do that is so it's not on their conscience.
Exactly.
It's always the other guy that had it.
He's shooting blanks. They're shooting blanks.
I have a son, my own, about your boy's age. I can imagine how painful this must be for you. But Clarence and that bitch-hole girlfriend of his brought this all on themselves. I implore you not to go down that road with them. You can always take comfort in the fact you never had a choice.
Look, I'd like to help you if I could, but I haven't seen Clarence.
You see that?
Oh! You see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how it goes. Everybody
So
looks. Okay, so are you gonna get into this?
Well, I mean, the audio evidence is what it is as far as the incident. But I do have a couple clips of one of Joe, which I thought was really interesting in his little speech. We touched on the speech last week, but I found one really clear, interesting line in that I want to hit. And then I did the first few minutes of Trump at the RNC where he was talking about the incident.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did. And hopefully maybe if you didn't do a lot of it, maybe you can do some organic sharpening, because that whole story about his whole personal
Well, that's what I did. That whole 15 minutes
Adaptation of the event.
yeah. It was too painful.
Ken's been shooting blanks for decades in the chat over here. What's happening, Ken? All right. Well,
yeah,
listen,
so-
we're almost at the top of the hour, dude. You want to just wait until the top of the hour?
Yeah, we can wait till the top.
All right. No,
Might as
wait,
well
so-
at this point,
yeah.
right? So, but yeah.
So, man, last Saturday's show got 600 people stop by to check that out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, huh?
I know. What if it was like more like 60,000 people?
It probably was.
I know.
Or at least 6,000 people, you know?
Well, if there was 6,000 people, there wouldn't be 1,400 comments because typically it's 10% and below for most channels of comments. You know what I mean? Or likes. It's usually 10%. You know, so if there's 1,400 comments or 1,400, I mean, so that's if that's 10%, then that tells you how many that is.
Yeah, it's 14,000 people.
Well, to me, that makes more sense. Anyway, I mean, just because when I see how many people have seen the show, but I see like some of the things on the show have a far reach. You know, they go out there. So you know, to me, I'm thinking, well, maybe there's, you know, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, because it doesn't really matter anymore, does it now? No. Because we never cared about that anyways, right? Otherwise, we would have been discouraged a long time ago, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Well,
You know how long it took?
but you know, it's weird because we watched it grow and grow and grow and grow, and then all of a sudden it just vanished.
And they
And
just
it's like, you know, did really like tens of thousands of people just decide to hate us one day?
no, it's
you know,
not it.
like-
It's just we got disappeared.
Yeah.
It's like that's all you got to do in the modern 2024. Is all you got to do is just disappear a person on the internet. It's like they don't exist anymore. You know, and we've seen it done time and time again. You know, see it done politically too. As a matter of fucking fact, man. All right, listen. I'm on the edge of my seat because listen, when I was listening to that personal recollection, and it was like this. I mean, I should try to see if I can find the text for it, and do my own dramatic reading of the Trump recount of the assassination attempt.
I'm sure you can find a transcription of it.
All right, I'll try to do that on the break. I was trying to get to this scene, this part in this where he just smacked him in the face, and then he goes, "That's about as good as it's gonna get." And I think he says, "If when you get to heaven or whatever, tell God you saw the personification of evil."
And smarts, doesn't it? You're slammed in the nose. Fucks you all up. Get that pain shooting through your brain. You're
He's right about that. If you've ever been punched in the nose, you ever been punched in the nose, real?
I've been hit in the nose.
I've been punched in the nose. This is the only time
I've
in my
never
life.
actually been punched by another person, but I've taken a few shots.
I've only been hit in the face once in a fight in my life, and the one time it was the dude punched me right in the fucking face. While I turned like this. I took off my sunglasses and I had my cigarettes and my sunglasses in my hand, and I was turned like this to hand them to my friend. And when I looked back, the dude went punched me right in the face. I didn't go down. But that shit hurt. So, those movies where you see guys going pee, 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 and they're taking blows to the face. No. It's not like that. All right, Rock and Rio. Get ready when we come back. It's the Reverse Perverse Circus with Rock and Rio taking a listen and a look at Donald Trump at the RNC.
Golden Toad. Toad. Golden Toad. Golden Toad. Golden Toad. Golden Toad.
Now don't you ask yourself who they are. Like everybody else, they wanna be a star. Bad girl, sad girl, you're such a dirty bad girl, baby. You bad girl, you sad girl, you're such a dirty bad girl, baby. Now you and me, we're both the same, both the same. Call yourself, have different names. Your mama will like it when she finds out. Girl, it's out at night.
Out of deep depression, can't seem to move it forward. My life has a lie away, not sure what I am into. I never died before. Yeah, what happened yesterday? I never stole the crown. Flip through endless stories, a life of a handwritten pen. No wonder Chillin said that is mine. I never died before. Can't be what happened yesterday. I should have stole the crown.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a
Really, ma? Nah.
For only $14.99 a month.
The time has come. It's time for Rock and Rio's perverse circus. It's time to shout at the devil. Rock and Rio.
Interestingly, the line of that song is the bloodstain on the stage.
Well, what's really interesting is what I'm showing right now is an actual, it's not even the crew.
Oh, it's their cover band?
Yeah, it's like a bunch of young dudes acting like the crew. Like, look at the way Vince, in this video, when he's throwing his fist in the air, when he does his Trump, he's doing a Trump right here. When he says shout, he goes all the way down to his almost to his knees and then comes up with his fist. Watch this shit.
She's a tear when you have been tempted by his life. Is a knife in your back, he's rage. Well, he's a rage to the knife. Oh, lonely is a life. My head's been running round. But in the field, oh, where the standing, to let them be strong. Shout, 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 shout of the devil. Shout, shout, shout. If he's love, then you have to be the blood between his thighs.
Somebody should take this and have him saying fight, showing Trump.
Fight for the devil.
Fight, fight, fight for the devil.
Oh, I got to give this guy some credit. He sings better than Vince Neil.
Hey, Lance, no one wants to eat you, dude. Don't come over here to rattle in my cage, or I'll delete you. Take off your caps lock, too, by the way, dude. I want to watch it all night. Don't make me come over there.
Oh, boy.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, keep it together in the chat room over there. Let's see. All right, so let me do the short clip first of Grandpa Joe. Here. Let's see, where is it? Right here. It's kind of right in the beginning of his denouncement of violence speech that he.
Golden Toad.
No, this is Grandpa Joe, not Golden Toad.
Okay.
Here we go.
Based on what we know now.
Pretty simple line based on what we know now. He says, I am the one you worship.
I know on your worship.
So based on what you know now, he is the one you worship. That was thought that one was interesting. But anyway, on to the Donald. So the RNC thing. So the 2 points that hit me as being very specific to look at was right where he was talking about, I shouldn't be here. That part of it, like 3 minutes in. So I'll just I'll roll a little bit of that if you guys didn't hear it.
Continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage.
Magnificent Golden Toad.
These are great people at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side.
I felt that. All right, so he had God on his side. Now he doesn't say which God he had on his side, but so I'll start there. And the first thing he says is, they all see I'm not who died, and they're here. They all see I'm not who died, and they're here. Yes, here of this life I own. They've seen it. They're seeing it. And then it says, that ain't real. We're betting you're off. Joe blew it.
We're betting you're off. There was blood pouring off.
Joe blew it.
Joe blew it.
Joe blew it.
Oh.
That ain't real. We're betting you're off. Joe blew it. So that's that. And then
Play that again, man. Let me hear that again.
All
Seriously.
right. So
There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side.
all right. So
I see I'm not here.
they all say I'm not who died near here.
Så gefärs here life I understand it.
So here of this life I own, they're seeing it, and then it says that ain't the real. We're betting you're off. Joe blew it.
We're betting off now blew it.
Joe blew it.
There's the journeyman. He just showed up there in the Chotsky.
There's a journeyman, yeah. Aloha.
He blew it.
Joe blew it. So then a little bit after that, there's actually some more lines in there that didn't really do much. And then after the applause here, it says, the chosen initiate subverts you, and this affair blurs that. So, oh, man, I gotta slow it down here.
Chosen yet subverts Lucas sphere mirrors that.
So the chosen initiate subverts you. And this affair blurs that. So he's talking, he's talking about he being the chosen initiate is subverting you. And you don't see it because you're all googly-eyed over the incident. Then he says, we offer a new initiate, and her oath is still open.
Yeah, I'll fit new initiative. Still.
Well, and we offer a new initiative. Her oath is still open. And then I have another one here. What's this one? I forget what this one says. Now it's universal mayhem. That's what it. So we offer a new initiative, and the oath is still open, and it's universal mayhem. It's a pretty interesting set of statements. So this part, he's talking, the reverse, he's talking about the guy who got shot behind him, or the guy who shot at him. It says, he hit me. He lost life then.
Yes, much life net.
It says, it was nice and easy as the violator was handled.
Nice and easy, violator handled.
The violator handled. Who else did they kill here? I messed up.
When did they kill here messed up?
So that's some pretty telling stuff. The other part of this that I looked at is at the very end of of this section of this speech. So let me play this forward.
There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours, and this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need.
All right, so first of all, it's a terrible misquote. It's no greater love than a man lay his life down for a friend. But but he, it's interesting because he says this is the spirit that started America, and when the reverse is what makes it interesting. It said the new world. This is they set their net. It's an admission to me. Right? The new world has set their net. It says, effed their master this time. Their crime revealed. Loyal men and the valor that's in it.
فلما سدرك بكامل الله أدفع لجسنا.
So why is he gone? Don't we hate crime?
سواسك ردنا إكرامك سوف
And then it says, choked at the ribs, he is innocent.
نترب سيد سردارف.
And then he says, fails known idealism and that valor that runs a risk.
Fails known idealism that valor runs a risk.
So he's talking about, having a moment of silence for the fireman that got shot and died that was behind him. And, how he dove in front of his wife and kids and took the bullet instead of them. And it was, he says, that fails known idealism and that valor runs a risk. Right. So it's kind of interesting because this is kind of like the old pre-president Donald Trump that we used to get, where he was a little more coherent and a little more human, I would suppose. So it's kind of interesting that he's, maybe he really had an awakening moment when his life flashed before his eyes, because he seems to be a little bit more on the humane side than the cold dark wizard side at this point. Are you there?
I am here. I'm looking over this. There's an actual Masonic ritual having to do with your hand and your ear and the tapping of your ear. And I'm going through it right now. I'm trying to
interesting.
Yeah, I know.
That one line is where
you then raise your right hand rapidly to the right ear, still holding the thumb and the first two fingers open with a circular motion of the hand past the hand over the ear.
Huh.
Yeah. So you heard it here on the Chilluminati. Okay? So there you go. The MAGA, as it were.
MAGA. Yeah.
The MAGA.
The Magus.
The Magus.
The Magus.
Here. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time, because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township, in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing as the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily, because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me, to the right, there was a large screen displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing, and in order to see the chart, I started to do like this and turn to my right. I was already beginning to a little bit further turn, and then I'm very lucky I didn't do. When I heard a loud whizzing sound and I felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear, I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet, and moved my right hand to my ear. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, and we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as the very brave Secret Service agents rushed in to the stage, as they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people at a great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere. And yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe. I had God on my side. I felt that. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, I had not moved my head. At that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark. And I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place of this terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet. We had many bullets that were fired that day. Crowds run for the exits and stampedes, but not in this case, for some reason. It's very unusual. Yeah, I'd say so. The massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely and automatically stood up, looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper. I just can't go on with this, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Well, you know, I don't know what to make of this situation at this point, because there's so much, you know, surrounding it that is obviously true, and so much surrounding it that is obviously not true. You know, it's kind of one of those things that the actual truth kind of lies somewhere in the middle of both sides of the story, you know? I mean, obviously the guy on the roof got what he got, but, you know, he wasn't the only guy. So who was the other guy? Where was the other guy? You know? I mean, was the whole thing a staged event? You know, it kind of, the reverse kind of lends to that, right? It's the chosen initiate subverts you, and this affair blurs that. Is a pretty obvious line, right? Saying that he's going to subvert you if he's the chosen initiate.
Is Epic coming on here?
Oh, I don't know.
Because he was working.
Oh.
I got to work in the morning.
I haven't seen him in the chat since he popped in to say hello.
I got to work in the morning at 6, so I'm going to try to make it back here for Wake and Bake. I'm just telling everybody. I'll try to make it back here for Wake and Bake. I think I can do it. But if for some reason I can't make it here on time, then I'll be back there tomorrow night and do it tomorrow night. I definitely got to work tomorrow, so there's no question about it. I got to help out. So
you got like something big going on?
No, just people are just shorthanded.
Yeah.
And they always do me solid whenever I need some time off or whatever. So.
No, that's cool.
So I got to help out when it's necessary. They don't ask very often. It's not necessary most of the time. All right. You got anything else with that?
No, not unless you want to go organic. Oh, I think the Epic Journeyman has.
No, I know. I'm calling him.
Oh, okay. I saw a Skype thing pop up. So
yeah.
Here he is.
Seriously, did you? I played a video at the beginning of this show before you guys came on here, and there's a video of what happens when Trump's getting in the limo, and it's goes to my sunglasses at night, and it's a bunch of these. It's literally absolutely ridiculous, man. It literally looks like Three Stooges or something. It looks like a comedy.
Are you talking about the three chicks that couldn't figure out how to put their guns away?
Yeah.
That was hilarious, man.
No, that. And somebody put it to I wear my sunglasses at night, which is even funnier. Matt Armitage is telling me what to do. Let Rio finish, man.
That is it. That's what
He's
I've got.
Finished, man.
That's all I got. Unless you want to organic sharpen it, but those were the 2 points that I found most interesting.
Hey, Matt. Just sit back and relax. Don't get stressed out. Believe me, I got you covered. I'll make sure Rio finishes. I don't need any prodding or probing. All right. So, Epic Journeyman, you've been working. There's still, there's still down systems. People don't realize that thing's not over.
No, there's still people backed up in the airport, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's
you're
credit
talking
cards.
about the blue screen of death incident?
Yeah,
and there's
my computer's still down.
And
Yeah.
credit cards are not working in some places.
My home computer's fine.
Some places it's cash only, man. Right now, cash only. Around here,
This is what happens when you trust big tech to, it's one bad line of code screwed up a lot of
dude,
people.
Matt loves the reverse speech, bro.
I know he does.
He does. You got to give him something. He wants something else. He's still hungry, like the wolf.
He's still hungry like a wolf. Well, we could do some organic sharpening if you want.
On what?
I don't know. Just pick a random spot in a speech and go for it.
Oh, there's more speech.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't go. Oh, you didn't go through the whole thing.
No, it's like 15 minutes long.
Oh Jesus! Well, I'm sure there's a million things in there. Then did you?
He talked for 95 and a half minutes.
Epic. Epic.
Well, the section I have is 15 minutes long. Where he's recounting the story. I didn't go into the whole rest of it.
All right, Epic. Did you know there's a fourth degree Masonic ritual that involves the hand to the ear and the moving of the hand?
Not until you told me about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching when you brought that up.
Yeah, I'm trying to dig it out precisely. I have the ritual right here. Sacredtext.com. But it's the whole thing, so it's everybody's part, and each part is listed what you're supposed to do, and so I can't sit here and like scroll and read it at the same time. But anyways, here's the basics of it: is you then raise your right hand rapidly to the right ear, still holding the thumb and first two fingers open with the circular motion of the hand. Pass it over your ear.
Isn't that kind of what he did?
Kinda.
It is. Well, and
It's
he
exactly
didn't
what
have
he
any
did.
blood on his hands. That's number one, right? Like he says in the speech. That you can tell Graham wrote that speech, whatever his name is, Billy Graham's son. Wrote most of that speech, the Unity speech. That he just couldn't stay to, man. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Went off script and went for another, hour after that. But wandered back and forth. But yeah, there's no blood in his hand. But the one thing he did do is put whatever that was on the podium, the lectern there. He grabbed something in his ear. He set something down on the top of the podium before he dropped to the ground. So yeah, it was weird. He did it awful fast. Like it's probably reflexive, but more like a shard of glass or piece of plastic. We talked, I think, last night, right, that there's 4 police officers who were injured by plastic and glass debris from the gunshots. So I'm thinking, it's more likely that's what it was. I mean,
Man, you sound like you've been watching The View, dude.
Yeah. The actual thing is that no teleprompters were harmed in the.
No. First, there's people say there's teleprompters, but yeah, there's no teleprompters.
A
But
magnificent
there were 4,
golden code.
yeah, there were 4 police officers injured with debris of something from bullets. So you're saying
There's actually I've seen video where the one that hit his ear or the one after that that got the guy in the bleachers. It actually did. It went. Not the guy who died in the bleachers, but the guy that was on the right.
Yeah, I saw that one. It shot
went
both
through
guys with one bullet. Yeah.
It went through his right side, and it ricocheted off the railing, and you can actually see the shrapnel and the puff of smoke as it beamed off the railing.
Now, the very first day after this happened, okay, I saw there was somebody posted a post and it said, Trump started wearing a bulletproof vest that day. It was the first time he's ever worn one. He started wearing one, and then there was a close-up picture of a bullet hole in Trump's coat. So the guy made this mention of the bulletproof vest, and then he took a still shot of Trump and his coat. You don't see it's Trump. You can't see his face. It's just a close-up of his coat, but it's clearly him. And you see a bullet hole in there. So now I didn't really I haven't brought it up before, but it's definitely potential that he got hit. But no one said anything, and you'd think that they would take and parade that around. They'd say, "Hey, Trump was wearing a bulletproof vest. Look at this slug." This would be the thing. This would be like the magic bullet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the story of, they failed and it just clipped my ear and it had been a second later, or, it had turned just a little bit more. It was a quarter inch from being a kill shot. That's much more dramatic.
Much more dramatic than I had a bulletproof vest on. In other words, it's divine intervention instead of a bulletproof vest.
Right.
Hey,
and
there's
I
Billy.
did notice he was looking a little chunky last.
There's Billy. Hey,
few
Billy
days.
Ray. The Rock as the Democratic nominee. The Rock, Billy. Billy Ray Valentine, The Rock against Donald Trump. Imagine the ring. If it was a wrestling match. Imagine it. Ed McMahon, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. You want to come on, Billy? Let me know in the chat ski. We're talking about it. But anyhow, so the Golden Toad, he dodged a bullet, didn't he?
Golden Toad.
Or more. Maybe he dodged 2 or 3.
Maybe. The thing is we'll never know, because what happened to all the forensics from the JFK? It's like they hid it for 100 years or whatever.
Yeah, but the problem was this went out live on television, and I can count them in the audio. I can see it.
Billy hates The Rock. No, but I'm just saying, do you think he could pull the votes against the Trump machine? Because nobody's going to pull those votes. And I'll tell you right now, with all this deep faking going on, you don't want to run Michelle. Because there'll be so many deep fakes on there.
Yeah, there will be. It's just like a linebacker,
It's going to be
showing the high school plays.
Exactly. It'll be
doing sacks and
it'll
quarterbacks
be a
and stuff.
fucking bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath, man. I already saw somebody had a video of all her shots from when she was a little girl up until now. And pretty convincing. I don't know. You guys have to be the judge on that.
Well, I've also seen pictures of Barry and Michael together that are pretty convincing.
Well, ask Joan Rivers how it goes when you start talking about that.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm just saying
at the
they're out
point
there,
at the point it becomes a presidential swift boating issue. Like she gets swift boated with that. Remember that shit? The swift boats, John Kerry.
Mm-hmm.
The swift boat thing.
Veterans for Truth.
You got swift boated.
No, none of those guys served with them. Like all those people who testified and made those commercials, not one of them doing. It was pretty bad, man. And that was before. Can you imagine that deepfake technology back then?
Fuck.
That would have looked like.
It's crazy, dude. You remember that shit? I bet you everybody forgot about that. Swift boated. I got swift boated.
Yeah, that term caught on for a couple of years, and then it kind of faded away. It was a good term, I think.
Yeah, that was Hannity. And the same guy that wrote that book, wasn't there a whole thing about, there was a whole another thing about George Bush at the time with the Coke and the Air Force or whatever.
Yeah, Air Force National Guard. Air Guard. Yeah, he was too drunk to fly one day, all this other stuff, right?
That's when Dan Rather got fucking shit canned.
Yep.
Dan Rather was the one that brought out that story, and next thing you know, he's off the air.
That was that whole 9/11
they
thing.
scandaled him right out, too.
Dude, Hillary Clinton, seriously, that will be like, that is WWE all together. If they roll out Hillary Clinton to go against Trump, that is fucking WWE. Billy, you could play-by-play that shit.
I don't know if they'd roll out Hillary again.
They're rolling her out, man.
They're saying that all over Twitter, yeah. I don't
place.
think it's going to happen.
Listen,
I hope not.
Golden Toad.
There's no way she's going to beat him, though.
No. I mean, well, she lost once, right? I mean, come on.
At this point, I think that the situation has gotten to the point where I don't think anybody can beat him right now.
Magnificent Golden
I don't know.
Toad.
It's pretty stupid, man. I mean, it turns out like George Conway was saying, I think he's right. Somebody's responded to a comment that George Conway on his Twitter thing, but I think they're right. What it is you know how he keeps doing this thing about asylums? They're sending people from asylums. He's doing his Hannibal Lecter jokes and stuff like that. You know what it is? It's because he's too stupid to understand that the asylum seeking people coming across the border looking for asylum aren't people from mental asylums. He thinks they're from mental asylums. That's why he does the Hannibal Lecter jokes. It makes perfect sense. That's absolutely him. This is the guy who wanted to put alligators and rattlesnakes in the moats at the border and nuke hurricanes. He's like a 9-year-old kid, man. He is. That's why you know there's stuff buried in that coffin. Vaughn's coffin of Ben Spencer, because that's what a 9-year-old would do.
What about 100%. The guy? What was the guy that asked George Bush if he was in the Skull and Bones, and then he died like almost a couple weeks later?
Tim Russert.
Tim Russert. Yeah, look at these long-standing journalists, man. Tim Russert asks a question, boom, he's dead. Dan Rather says some shit about that cocaine and all that, and he's out of there.
Yeah, well, it was like 2 weeks later in the campaign, right, where the guy asks about Skull and Bones to Kerry in that conference. It was a college conference room, not conference room, like a stadium. And anyway, that's the guy who got don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. Right? That's what business Skull and Bones and got tased.
What does Billy want a link for? Billy's saying send a link for what? Why don't you just come on here, man? Why are you texting? I can't read it from here.
Probably the make it joinable by a link or something. The conversation.
The huh?
You can make the conversation joinable.
Oh, well, just fucking call Billy. Is that what he's saying? Is that what he wants me to do?
Think so?
I'll do that.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, just ring him.
Magnificent golden toad.
A magnificent golden toad. All right, I'll call Billy, but stand by.
All right.
So, here, let me call Billy. Whoops. I almost called Bruce. That's smooth, huh, Billy?
Needs more cowbell.
These guys are just kicking it in the studio, playing with each other. This is live right here. Live, Billy. Are you wearing shoes? Are you wearing shoes now?
I'm not.
Okay, yeah, barefoot.
Nah, I got Crocs on.
Oh, Crocs, all right. Well, your feet staying nice and warm, I guess.
Nah, they're nice and breezy.
So I was saying earlier,
air it out.
I was saying earlier, The Rock, and I said, now you're gonna say The Rock. Are you gonna say The Rock too?
What about The Rock?
Well, they need a candidate, dude. They can't
no.
They can't do it with Michelle. She ain't doing it.
Michelle said she's not doing it.
I know. Well,
the
that's
candidate is either Joe Biden or Kamala Harris.
No, Kamala Harris. Did you hear that Donald Trump said today he calls her the laugher? He said he calls her the laugher because you could tell a lot by a person by the way they laugh.
Man, this is. I know you guys will disagree with me from what I'm hearing, and I only heard a little bit, but it's a gross misassessment to say that no one can beat Donald Trump. A gross misassessment. He will probably still lose the popular vote. This is going to come down to the Electoral College, and that's where he can win. The Democrats are really performing political suicide in front of the nation by not backing a candidate, by not backing Joe Biden. They're producing political suicide. They need to get behind somebody ASAP. This is the only way Donald Trump gets in the White House. Right now, they're paving a way for him. And I'm starting to believe that they don't want to win this election, that they literally want to give it to Donald Trump.
They will, and they are.
That's what it looks like.
Because
that's what it looks like.
the whole reason, listen,
the whole
Biden
thing is a setup for him.
Biden was brought in here for these 4 years to be the paper on the bottom of the cage. They made homeboy lie down for these 4 years and said he's coming back in 2024 because they want him to be the guy to come into 2025. He's the fucking guy that made you go get a vaccine. He's the fucking guy. He's the guy that caused all this shit, and he did what they told him to do. Just like
I still stand by. He's going to be the guy who's going to oversee the economic collapse and the bankruptcy of America, and that's coming next year or sooner.
Yeah, Billy, man, 2025 it's not going to be a good year.
No, it's probably not. No matter who we get in there, the agenda will continue, and that's the biggest thing we need to concentrate on. But it's up. Are you guys familiar with Alan Lynchman?
Yeah.
At all?
The guy who's predicted all the elections?
Right. So he's predicted every election with the exception of one.
Mm-hmm.
He predicted Donald
Biden
Trump.
wins,
Donald Trump in 2016, right? Up until, he still has Joe Biden winning this election, right? And there's a reason for it. There's a scientific method that he uses. It's not speculation. Joe Biden is supposed to win this election, but if they remove him, according to Alan, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If they remove him, it gives up the incumbency, which makes it way more difficult for the Democrat to retain, or whomever to retain, right? So it's Joe Biden to retain the presidency. Even though Kamala Harris could still pull it off, it makes it way more difficult for her to do so.
Man.
Anybody other than those two would not win. It's this method has gone on since the beginning of American elections. So it's before the radio, before the television, before the internet, and it stands true for the most part, with the exception of one prediction, and I don't remember which one that is. He had Joe Biden winning up until this point. Everything that needed to happen for Donald Trump to be in consideration for the White House in 2024 has happened. You can call it miraculous intervention, or you can call it a new world order manipulation. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's gotten there. It's incredible to me to see this transpire, because I didn't think he stood a chance in hell, and I still think he can lose. But damn it. Talk about knocking down doors for this guy.
No, every single hater.
Look who he picked as the vice president.
Every single hater.
I know, right?
J.D. Vance, which does nothing to bring in new voters. This just reinvigorates the base, and he needs more than the base to win this election. J.D. Vance is possibly skull and bones. Comes straight out of Yale with all the connections. Peter Thiel, skull and bones. Most likely, he's bringing in the old world order to merge with the new world order at this point.
No,
that's exactly what they're doing.
He is
It's
Shabbat.
incredible.
Nailed it. That's exactly
Shabbat. Shabbat.
Yeah, it's a charade.
If I were you, if I was going to give you financial advice, which I don't, and I won't, but if I were you, I would buy myself some oil futures right about now. Oil is about to go up fucking big time. Shit is about to hit the fan. Okay, Israel bombed out a whole fucking facility over in Yemen today. It's burning as we speak. So the price of oil is going to be going up here in a minute. So I don't know what's going to happen, Billy. I don't
neither, bro.
I don't think Biden's getting in there. So no matter what, and so he's in the hospital or whatever. This is their exit. Their strategy for him is just he's sick. It's too bad. They just let Kamala hang out there until the election, and there's no way she's beating Trump. No way.
If it was a legit election, she'd smack Trump. There's no way around it. But I don't know what's going on here anymore.
Well,
we need
it's not an election; it's a selection. That's what's going on.
We need to step out of this bubble. Half of the country is not happy with Donald Trump. More than half of the country does not think he's capable of doing the job. It's just he's running against Joe Biden at this point. That's what it is. 57% of the nation thinks he's too old to run for president. I really don't think he can handle her in a debate either. That's not saying much, but I don't think he can do it.
Well, can you imagine? I'd pay to see that, like the prosecutor going against a convicted felon with the 60 some odd counts still to go. I mean, that would be that'd be something else, man.
but to say that Donald Trump would beat anybody other than Joe Biden is ridiculous. Really, we need to really think about what went down here. How he got in the first place. He beat Hillary Clinton, who no one likes. He beat her. And let me tell you, and he didn't win the popular vote against Hillary. He got in through the Electoral College, and only a certain amount of votes. It was only a few thousand votes that got him into the White House in the first place. 2020, I know everybody thinks it's been stolen, it's rigged, whatever. It's never been proven to be so. All of these theories that people put out there, it's rigged through the mind. That's how it's rigged. It's rigged because we have a Democrat and a Republican running, and they come from the same place. So the agenda will continue no matter who gets in there. That's how this is rigged.
Well, every election has been fucking rigged, dude.
Every election has fraud.
Every election.
How rigged it was, it's a different situation.
Yeah, well, fraud.
And they say this to you. They're like, oh, there's fraud. There's no widespread fraud is the language that they use because they can't deny that there's fraud in the first place. There's absolutely fraud. But is there enough fraud to flip an election?
Fraud is different than election tampering, man. Fraud is I say I'm somebody and I vote. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about systemic election fraud.
There is not enough proof to prove that systemic election fraud has turned over an election.
Yeah,
not only that,
Ron Paul,
Smartmatic,
dude, go to Blackbox.
And I forgot the other company.
Go to blackboxvoting.org.
They sued Fox News for. Fox News had to pay. I
Go
forget
to
the name of the company.
blackboxvoting.org.
They settled out of court. They sued for $1.2 billion. They got $777 million.
Right.
And Smartmatic is $2 billion.
Go to blackbox. Go to blackboxvoting.org.
They're still looking for their money. Who knows how much money they're going to make off of this? There's no proof of any of this, but we're chasing it.
Blackboxvoting.org. There's plenty of proof.
And that's what the problem is with the alternative media. We're chasing these things that don't exist. Instead of looking at the real, what's going on? They're hacking your mind. That's what's going on. They're hacking your mind. And they're making you think that your decisions are your own, and they're not.
Blackboxvoting.org. Ron Paul, stolen election. New Hampshire, plenty of evidence. Evidence, Bush, Kerry, evidence. Evidence, JFK, evidence. All these elections are fucking frauds, dude. Cambridge Analytica don't mean shit.
I don't think, and no offense to anyone who, I mean, I'm just some guy, man. Listen, we've been primed for all of this for a long time here in the alternative media. We've been primed for it. To believe all of this stuff, and we're chasing the stuffed ballot boxes. We're chasing that.
I'm not chasing.
We're chasing the bamboo and all this nonsense.
I'm not chasing any of that shit.
Instead of looking at the real here.
The real is the whole fucking
Instead of
thing.
looking
is
at
a fraud.
Cambridge Analytica and being, okay, this is how we're being manipulated here.
Dude,
We're being
you're
manipulated
stuck on
via the
Cambridge
mind.
Analytica, man.
We're being manipulated via the mind.
Yeah, no shit.
And why? Let's look at it logically from the alternative media. Why would they need systemic systemic rigging of the system if the system is rigged in the first place? Wasn't that where we were coming from? That there's a selection, not an election, right?
The whole system.
That the Democrats and the Republicans are two wings of the same bird. Isn't that the case? So why would they need to rig it? Why would they need to rig it even further if either one of their candidates is going to give them what they want?
Because of the demographics.
It's a logical
are showing
fallacy
that
what we're doing here in the alternative media. We need to face that. We need to come to a point where it's like, okay, let's look at this logically here.
Who's we? Dude?
How are we being manipulated?
Who's we?
We, all of
You.
us. You're not
Not
you're not an
me. You're not
exception to this.
speaking for
all
me.
of us.
When you
all
say
of us are
we,
under mind control, sir, to one degree or another. That includes me, Jimmy. I'm not bringing myself out of this.
Well, I'm
It's
just
just the
saying,
way
when
it
you
is.
say
It's the
we,
truth of the
don't
matter.
include me in what you're saying. There's no question
What's
in
that,
my
sir?
mind what's going on. So,
what's that, buddy?
I said, don't include me in that we, because there's no question in my mind what's going on.
And that's even more of a reason why you've been mind controlled at this point.
Oh, really?
If you can sit and say there's no question in my mind what's going on, then there's a problem, right? And I include the world in this. We've all been mind controlled. I guess if you've got it figured out, you've got it figured out. But I include the world in this, including myself. It took a long time for me to get here, to get to this point where I'm like, oh, I see what's going on. And most may disagree with me, and that's fine. I can't pretend to have the answers, but that's the way it looks like to me. That's the way it looks like to me. Because no matter who gets in there, the agenda continues. It continues. So how else am I supposed to? Why are they gonna rig it if they already got their people there? It doesn't make sense to me.
It's a 1930
because they use
book.
it for mental manipulation.
But that's my point.
Yeah, but
It's
they use
mind control.
okay, Trump wins, right? So now you got the left is going to be all outraged.
Right.
And if Biden wins, the right's going to be all outraged.
Agreed.
So either way, right, the outcome is that half the population is outraged.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
Whose turn is
agree
it to be
100%.
outraged this time? That's basically what it comes down to.
I agree. That's where we are, unfortunately.
The book was called The Battle for the Mind. It was written, I think, in 1932. It's a German book. And it outlines this thing completely. Like the whole idea of mind controlling a society. Like that's what it's about, right? And you can't get it in the library anywhere. If you go like the reference center, you can look it up. You have to request it. So when I requested my copy to go get a look at, it was Nellis Air Force Base. Is where it was at. I never got the book. You have to fill out a form to get it. Tell me what kind of country we live in. We have freedom of the press and freedom of information, all that stuff. We have to go to Nellis Air Force Base to get the book you want to read.
Right.
Because they won't put it in the library. That's telling you there's some valuable information in there, right? And they kind of masked it by making another book with the same title in the 70s. It's like a college mainstay. It's a psychology book. This isn't about psychology. It's about RF weaponry. It's about using psychotronics and it's about using information as well as psychotronics and imagery to mind control people, to actually affect their brain, right? And yeah, that was 1932. So you got to think they've had this technology, they've had this knowledge at least since then. And we all think it goes back to mystery schools of Egypt, probably even farther than that even. But this is, you combine it with the technology, right? So I think what we have today with medical engineering, you mentioned Cambridge Analytica and things like them.
Right.
I don't know if we have a chance, man. You can't.
I don't know either. I'm with you
some
here.
baby boomer try to explain it to them. They're not going to
It's
believe it.
fourth generation, fifth generation warfare. I don't know if we stand a chance. Most of us don't even know we're under this type of warfare.
No, you can't explain it to people.
Right.
You know,
You
at the
can't,
time.
right. And am I even the right messenger to explain it to people? Like how? How am I supposed to explain something that I don't fully understand myself? You know, I just acknowledge that it's happening.
And we've been
they
talking
tell us
about
that it's
this
happening
on
openly.
this show has been about this subject since the show's been on the air, Billy.
True.
We've been talking about this before anybody even heard about Cambridge Analytica.
Okay. Excellent. Then we all agree, right? I mean that's the point of it. I don't know where we're going with any of this. I know whomever wins is going to continue to carry on.
We
the agenda.
do know, though. We do know. We do know. So yeah, it is mind control. Are you under it? I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course. And everybody has to come to a place where they can admit this to themselves.
Because you wouldn't know. That's the point,
actually,
right?
I kind of think Billy's right in a way, Jimmy. Like maybe to varying degrees, but I think all the nonsense that's put out there affects us all in some way or another.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all lean to one direction or the other. You know, I mean, I'm not a particular fan of Trump, and I'm certainly not a fan of Biden. But
the thing is, Bill, hey,
on some level, if it's got to come down to one or the other, you know, you have to pick a side.
Right.
I don't give control.
But that's part of the control mechanism.
I don't give control of my mind over to something else. I control my own mind. And when you're under mind control, then turn your fucking computer off and get rid of your fucking phone and don't watch TV. Okay? Get off the fucking mind control.
Oh, that's
true. Go live in the woods for a month, yeah.
I'm just saying, man. You know, don't say you don't know how to stop it. You don't know how to turn it off. That's how you stop and turn it off. And everybody decides how they want to entertain themselves. You want to entertain your subject matter. You want to go read this shit and look at all this all day. Then this will be your reality, man. You create it for yourself.
When I say I don't know how to stop it or how to turn it off, first off, I don't know how to stop it for myself. But regardless of that,
I just
when I
told
say
you
I
how
don't
to
know how to
stop
stop it and I don't know how to turn it off, how we stop this. I don't know how we turn it off.
I just told you how
I
to
don't
turn
know.
it off.
People aren't willing to do what you just said, Jimmy.
Well-
Not only are people not willing to do what you just said, people are under circumstances where they are forced to do the opposite.
Well,
to
people
work,
are
to make a living, to do a lot of things.
People's biggest
Right? So
people's
this is
biggest,
why we're here.
Human beings' biggest fucking problem is they can't stand silence. Because the minute there's fucking silence, you got to deal with what's in your own fucking head. Okay? Everybody's got to have some noise going. So they don't have to think about anything. No one wants to think, Billy. Everyone wants to turn that over to somebody else. You think for me, Billy. Why don't you explain it to me, Billy? How about that? Epic German, you do my thinking for me, too. And I'll just fucking
Well, you know,
sit
what
here.
I think what I was getting at, and I think Billy's getting at too, is just more say don't know how to stop it. Isn't the individual level? It's how we stop it at the societal level. How do we stop society?
There's no way you're ever
Because
going to
we all
stop it.
individually
You
get away
can.
from
It's
it, but how do you
dude.
convince
That's,
everyone else they need to?
how do you
can't.
stop it? How do you stop? Can you stop the atmosphere around you from being the atmosphere? Can you stop the? Can you stop the
Hold your breath.
oxygen? From,
Yeah.
No, you can't because there's no once a signal is out into the air, a vibration, once a frequency is sent, there's no way to harden yourself from that, unless you're in some sort of wireless bunker. So we're at where we are. The horse is out of the barn. There's no way to undo what's there. So you're in the situation now. So the only thing, like I said, you can do is turn it off and walk away. And that's it. Other than that, everybody's influenced by it. Everybody's got a filter bubble. Doesn't matter where you go on the internet. You're showing everything you want to see on there. You know, how many times do you go on there and do a search of the good news that happened today in my town? Most of the searches we do on here are all based around the same thing, you know, and it's all the same. It's like gassing ourselves with this fucking poison, you know, over and over again, expecting it to be somehow, you know, what's going to happen is some days there's going to be some magic thing that's going to turn everything around, Billy, and make everything okay and go back the way it used to be. I don't think
What the hell
so.
is that ticking?
That's me tapping my fucking ring on my coffee cup. Because I'm about to
That might
blow
be
off
what it
like
was.
a fucking rocket.
Well, I mean, like the thing that I trip out on about this is like it's so obvious to a lot of us here in the chat room and people who watch the show and a lot of other people. what's going on. And it's so obvious, you can deal with it yourself and you can explain to people with like-minded individuals that you know, right? But you can't, the people that are going to go out there and, affect the world by voting and doing all these other things have no clue what is actually going on, right? And I don't mean just by voting, but I'm talking about it in that context, right? So they don't understand there's another choice other than just those two choices, right? It doesn't have to be that way. And if they, in the world that comes afterwards, they're always going to think, well, I couldn't do anything different. I only had these two options or whatever, right? But it's not just that. It's the fact that if we have a deep fake, let's say right before the election, there's some deep fakes of whichever candidate that look totally convincing to sway the election that person's way. And you try to explain to grandpa or, somebody else, right? Somebody in a different generation, it could be a young person doesn't understand these kind of things. You try to explain, no, it's a computer generated deep fake, blah, blah, blah. You try to explain what it is. It doesn't matter. They don't understand. They don't grasp it. The old word from the 70s from the Robert Heinlein book, right? Grok it. They don't grok it, right? And there's no way to make them. There's just no way to do it. Their mindset, it's literally the mindset, right? So that's the problem. I don't know how we break that out. We were talking about breaking a simulation yesterday. I don't know how we break out of that in time to affect societal change, because this is coming fast with artificial intelligence and singularity is upon us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way out, man. Unless you turn it off. Or, like we said before, I mean, the power goes out.
Like Jake King, yeah.
If the power goes out, everything's different,
It is.
But
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's good
man.
in a lot of ways.
Places around here having to go to cash all of a sudden. It's like, where do you get cash then? It's like you go in the store, they're like, oh, sorry, you go, it's just cash. Our computer systems are down. And you're like, well,
But you can't get cash because the bank system's down too.
No shit.
The ATM's down, right.
Fuck, you get cash. So
It
I don't
smells
know.
like here after wildfires, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta pick up your mattress. That's what you gotta do.
Look at people that are just living their lives. They just go do this shit. They go down there and they vote and they do their thing and and they watch TV and they see that's 47 to 50% and then they go to bed. And 4 years goes by, and then people in that period of time, those 4 years, they get all the shit done that the other people can't get done with their party, with their people that are there in their party. They do the opposite dance. Each guy gets the shit done that the other people hate, which causes hate for the other people, and then they call the other guy in, and that guy, so on and so forth. So we're here we are, Fucking, it looks like a fucking idiocracy over there with that fucking presentation of the Trump RNC with the white lights and the fucking.
It totally did, man. It totally did.
Mm-hmm. That was Monday Night Raw.
No
We
shit.
talked
was,
about it
man.
on America Unplugged.
The
That was
White House
WWE
behind
Monday
him.
Night Raw.
The White House image behind him. That was beautiful.
What are you saying,
I mean,
Billy?
the words like his name lit up in lights. That was Monday Night Raw.
It was.
We had a Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock, and Dana
Vince McMahon.
White.
Yeah. Vince
Come
McMahon
on.
was there too. Yeah.
It was literally an episode of Monday Night Raw. We had Matt Gaetz calling Kevin McCarthy all types of names, and then Kevin McCarthy called him a pedophile. These are
Which
some
he is.
storylines on an episode of Monday Night Raw, WWE.
Well, it just so happens that Rio did reverse speech on Matt Getz, and it turns out that him calling
He
him
likes
that is
8-year-old black girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
literally.
I have the audio.
I'll never figure that one out. Like his friend, his buddy, he did all these crimes with, right? Is in jail for 30 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in jail.
Yeah. What the hell? I mean, he did it with him.
Right.
How is Matt Gaetz out walking around?
Right.
Just shows you the power of money and having the right connections.
All right, you guys want to hear my prediction?
Yes, sir.
All right, I think the Democratic convention, I think there is going to be an incident there, and I think it's going to be serious. Is what I think, because it's going to be in Chicago, and
Yeah, the Chicago 7. It harkens back. It's the anniversary, right? It's in Chicago. Yeah.
something's
Those
going to
things
happen. It's my
took their
prediction.
time, man.
We'll see, and I don't mean candidate-wise. I mean whoever the candidate is, I think there's going to be an incident.
I think you're right, bro.
Yeah, I would say so too.
I think you're right. I think that there's a high probability of that happening. The shooter supposedly, if we believe that narrative, and I don't know if I do, the shooter was looking up Trump and Biden. He wanted to get at one of them, seeing who was coming there first. And there we have to look at the possibility of retaliation. Right, somebody wants to shoot Biden now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's that. Even if he even shows up, the Republican National Convention was a shit show. The Democratic National Convention has the potential to top it 100 times over. What's going on? What could possibly go on there? With all the variables in play.
Watch for the switch. Watch for the switch to the virtual convention. Virtual convention.
I wouldn't doubt it because it's a repeat of 1968 convention, and that didn't go too well, right? And the thing also about this is, all these people are going to be demonstrating for Palestine, and I mean, even without the Republican Democratic thing going on, the possibility of violence erupting because of that.
Yeah,
we're talking suicide bombers, we're talking Israeli agents, we're talking the whole 9 yards, far right, far left, on both sides of this equation. Yeah, I wouldn't even do it. Like if I was President Biden at this particular moment,
to create the hate in America for Palestinians by having Palestinians blow some shit up, because Trump's coming in here, and let me just say that Shabbat and that his Jared Kushner and the deals he
Trump
cut.
is very pro-Israel.
Dude, the deals he cut, the whole restructuring of the Middle East, and so come on, man, it's coming down the pike, dude, and Trump's the man who's going to do it. And everybody all the media is owned by those families, dude. Those families are pumping this Trump story because they want him going over the fucking top, man. He's coming in because he was on the shekel. I mean, they think he's the Messiah. How many 248 rabbis showed up down at Mar-a-Lago and handed him what did they give him? Would they give him Epic Journeyman? There's something.
The silver, what's it called? It's not a crown, but yeah, basically, might as well be a crown.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, well, and the Bible says the Antichrist will say he's God from the temple in Jerusalem, right? I mean, that's what it says.
This is really getting hairy, bro. Man, like
who else?
Dude, and seriously, we really looked at that thing, and that kid that they're saying it's not him.
Yeah.
He's an AI.
I think you might have a point. I don't know.
He's an AI generated fake. The other guy,
he's Lee Harvey Oswald.
He's an AI generated dead end, and they're just making up all this shit about his clandestine, this and that. He had all these phones and all this bullshit, drones and all this.
Now, there's kids from his school that say they knew him.
Now, Matthew Yearwick is the guy. Here, I'll drop it.
No. I'm familiar, and I don't discount it. I'm just saying there's another narrative going on also.
Yeah. Well, our narrative is we say that no one's saying deep fake, and the other thing I want to point out about this incident is all the people that normally say things about events like this. The normal guys that are out there, like the big names that go out there right after something like this happens and say nobody died. All those people are all saying it's real.
Right.
And all the normal people who say it's real, they're all saying it's not real.
Right.
You got Joy Bear saying it's a conspiracy, it's totally fake on the air.
Yep.
So isn't that strange? Don't you find that odd?
It's evidence of the mind control. Is what it is.
They're using reverse psychology, basically.
I've had people.
His BlackRock commercial, Bernays, is AI generated. They just say, here, use this face and put it in this commercial. And 20 seconds later, you got a commercial. BlackRock owned the building that the command center was in.
Yeah, it's in the grassy knoll thing. That was pretty funny too.
Grassy knoll.
Yeah.
Dude, it's called the grassy knoll where these buildings were.
I know. It's
Google
amazing,
Earth.
Man. You can't make it up. I mean, you can make it up, but it's too made up.
It's called the grassy knoll.
It's too convenient.
No, seriously,
The guy's
And
name's
Mr.
Crooks. Come on, man.
Mr. Rowe passed off a bunch of photos yesterday where people have taken this dude and done an ear analysis of it and all this, the fucking head that's blown off on the roof. I don't know if you've seen the picture with the guy and his head's blown off, his mouth's open, his teeth are knocked out.
Yeah.
That's the guy on the right. There's no fucking question. That dude on the left, you can go look and see. You can go watch AIs make people over there on YouTube. You can just watch a video on how they do it. It just makes people out of nobody. There's nobody. They don't exist. It just all of a sudden it just makes people out of a million faces.
It's really good at it too, man. It's really good at it. Like they're very convincing. The NVIDIA ones they made the promos for a couple years ago when they first started doing this, to make it more and more human. They have scars and all kinds of quirks, right, to make it look more genuine. You can't tell the difference. You know, the eyes aren't perfect. They're there's a little bit offset just to tie it like a real person's. Moles, all kinds of things.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna
can't pick a real one from a fake one.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Tonight, right now, is the last time I'm bringing up this dude ever again on this show. He's gonna tell you right now. Talking about this dude right here can get you killed. I'm telling you right now. This dude right here. This dude disappeared off the whole scene. They don't want people talking about this. Seriously. You better start saying Crooks. You know, go with that storyline.
Well, it's a memorable name, kind of like Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Old Bankman there.
Just saying, man. Especially, I mean, Rio, did you save any of those pictures from last night that Rose sent over there? You should show them to Billy if you did.
No, I don't have any of that.
Yeah. But I'd stay off this subject, man. There's plenty of other things to talk about.
But I think you're right about you guys. I think we're all right about the convention. I wouldn't do it. I'd call it off, man. This might be the excuse
going to be a
call it
problem.
off.
Man.
Plus,
yeah,
man,
it's going to be a problem.
Listen, Obama is from there.
Yeah.
And then all those fuckers from the Weather Underground, aren't they all up in there in the high-end neighborhoods? Isn't that where Obama got all his money?
It started in Michigan. Yeah, University of Michigan students mostly. And they ended up going to Chicago. I mean, that's like
they didn't have a problem,
man.
and the Weather Underground didn't have a
right.
problem blowing shit up, did they?
Nope.
No, they didn't. Nope.
All right, boys, let me get out of here, man. I wanted to hang with you guys for a little bit, man.
All right,
well, thanks for joining us.
Right on, Billy.
You guys, all of you have to come on the Fringe soon.
Well, have us on, man. Just ask us and get a date, and we'll do it.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you for providing me with a source of entertainment on these days whenever I'm home. I appreciate it.
Well, hey, thanks.
Right on, Billy, thanks.
We're glad that you find us entertaining because, I mean, if we can't laugh, Billy, we got problems. We got to laugh. We got to keep laughing, bro.
Especially the commercials on night one. Very entertaining.
Well, what about this?
Bye, guys.
What about this? Hold on. What about this? Hold on.
Golden Toad.
The Golden Toad. All right.
Later, everybody. Later, Amber.
Watch out.
Everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Karen Carpenter, everybody that I'm missing. What's up? Love you guys. Bye.
Stay cool.
Golden Toad should be the bar that we put on the Golden Corral all-you-can-eat buffet. Like it'd be like attached to it and have like karaoke night and stuff.
Dude, I was thinking we should just make T-shirts that have the Golden Toad on there. What do you guys think?
People are worshiping the golden toad like they worship the golden calf.
That's what I mean, dude.
Exodus of Israel. So
the golden toad. You could take.
It's a good. Golden, it's natural transition.
It's the new golden calf, right?
It is.
Well, it's a transition from the Pepe the Frog meme that they stole to make for QAnon and for the alt-right originally, right? And they could just transform that into Trumpism with a golden toad. It's a perfect fit, actually.
I know, because when he's sitting
Golden Pepe the Frog, there you go.
Yeah.
When Trump is sitting there and it's got in the corners of his mouth are just facing down, you know, like he's not smiling.
Yeah, he puts a snake a fly out of the air. I know.
He does look like the golden toad.
He does, man. He does. That's not an exaggeration either. He does.
He does.
You know, I hope people are ready for what happens when he dies too, man, because he's not getting shot. He's just dying of sleep. He's not a healthy man. He's 78 years old. I mean, he could die any minute too. And you know, that sector of the frenzied manic fans he has, man, they're going to freak out.
That's the thing about it is, you know, It could be that any time for any reason. And at any
Yeah.
time they could just do that, and it'd just be quiet, and that'd be the end of it. But the thing is whatever was going to happen, it was going to happen out in front of everybody. And even if it didn't happen out in front of anybody, to make it seem like it was going to happen out in front of anybody, it doesn't matter. This is the thing is that why would you can make it seem like it almost happened, but it could have actually happened. There was 3 guys on there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there was other guys that had guns pointing in the other direction. They could have been inside guys and just turned their guns around to that would have been the end of it. So the thing is just it didn't happen. It's Rio. They're calling for divine intervention. I mean, Hijacker came on here last night for a minute saying yeah, Chicago, exactly, Ken. Came, saying divine intervention. I mean, are you thinking divine intervention? What are you thinking? We haven't even asked you what your opinion is, man, about this whole thing yet.
Do I think it was divine intervention?
Yeah. You think Trump now is the divine intervention? Now he's chosen by God?
I wouldn't. Well, I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at that.
Rock
right?
and Rio just threw you a 5 spot on
Oh, nice.
YouTube. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello, Captain Hook. Thank you. So, I guess there's 2 ways of looking at that, right? If you don't believe in coincidences and everything is being under the hand of God, then yeah, it was the hand of God that turned Trump's head at the right moment to miss the bullet or, push the bullet a little to the left. Is it just circumstantial? I mean, I don't hit the target every time either. I get close, but I don't always get, perfect bullseye clusters.
I'm sorry, man.
Especially on a windy day. So is it just circumstance? Is he the chosen? Is it just, depends on how you look at it, I suppose. Maybe he did just get lucky.
Who knows?
I think, personally, I think he got incredibly lucky, but I also think that there's parts of the story we're not getting, that aren't being told that aren't true, and that's the problem. I mean, it's not that people weren't shot. It's not that, there wasn't an intent there to kill him. It probably was.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like there are 2 buildings that didn't fall down in Manhattan either. People died in that too.
Exactly.
It's I still don't really believe that it was, 4 guys with box cutters that came out of the caves in the
That's
desert.
what you were saying last night, right? Is that there's a very similar vibe to 9/11 after this. Like they're locking it down, that side of the spectrum politically. It's like, you better not talk about this like it's some, like it's a belief system. You couldn't talk about 9/11. You can't talk about this now. It's going that route.
Well, the thing is, too, that I'm sorry Billy's not here because I was wanted to say this when he was on. Is the thing about it is that it's kind of the opposite of the way things used to be. In other words, in the old days before the internet, when shit happened, the only recordings and video that there was controlled systems. And then, so there wasn't a bunch of people. And then when people did call or want to report something, they would go to the authorities or whatever, and they'd say their thing and they'd make their testimony. But in order for you to find out about all that shit, it would take you 6 months to sit there and go do the legwork to work that out.
Well, that
you
is
know
the
what I
one thing
mean?
is
But now it's the
everybody
opposite.
with a cell phone can post it on YouTube.
I know. Hang on a second. So now it's the opposite of that, right? So in the past, they wouldn't want you to find out anything about that information that was gathered with their equipment and their recordings. But now it's the opposite. These agencies can take and turn around and dump all this information on here about a subject. In other words, all of a sudden, there wasn't anything the day this happened, and then in the next week that's gone by, all this shit has come up. He's got a drone. He had 3 overseas cryptic accounts or whatever. It's like all this shit. That dude on the left is what you're telling me? That dude, that young kid, that Crooks kid, you're telling me this? He had all that. He had drones. He had 3 accounts. He had all this. And he was lone wolfing it. You're telling me that? He's like masterminding this shit?
Honestly, he looks like a special ed student.
The first...
I mean, you know, not to be cruel, but this guy's not that smart.
No, and the other thing is that immediately when it came out, they also said a bunch of shit about how he tried to join the rifle club at school, and he was so bad that he was literally
Asked not to
a
shoot.
joke. Yeah, a joke. And then now all of a sudden he's been shooting for years, and he's a marksman, and all these people are coming out and saying, yeah, I mean, I've seen Bill, you know, I've seen Crooks over there, you know, shooting and all this noise. I mean, come on, man.
Well, maybe Jimmy, he sold his soul to the devil to be a professional marksman, just like Robert Johnson did to be a good guitar player. So,
man, let me ask you guys a question. I don't care how badass you are, how badass you think you are, or how good of a shot you are, or how what of a mastermind you think you are, or whatever.
Like I said, the wind can come by and still blow your bullet sideways, even if you're perfectly on target.
That's
with your
what I
sights.
mean. That's what I mean. But the thing is no one in their right mind is going to think that they're going to be Tom Cruising their way into this shit and getting away with it. You know what I mean? It's not like Mission Impossible with one person. It's like some dude sitting in a garage somewhere thinking about it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this together or whatever. It's a fucking joke, man. It's so complicated. It would literally take... I mean, there are people that go through... How many years of training do clandestine operators go through, Epic Journeyman? Is it like a couple years? Hey, Mark, what's going on? It's good to see you. I haven't seen Mark in a long time.
Well, most SEAL team guys are in their 30s, right? So...
No, I'm just saying...
If they started at 18 and you figure they get to SEAL team by the time they're 35, that's at least, 15 years of training to be that good. So...
No, and even then,
there's no way a 20-year-old kid can be that good, right?
And even then, it's not, those guys aren't the guys that are doing the masterminding that are by themselves. I mean, those guys are just regular operators. And there's a whole bunch of those guys, and then there's guys that have been around doing it longer than them. So, I mean, it's not like someone's just... it's not like someone just sitting in their garage, lone wolfing. I mean, it's crazy to even consider that. With the amount of manpower and resources, I mean, what I also find to be ridiculous is the fact that, number one, if I was doing security, I mean, wouldn't you not have a blocker of cell phones? It's like you wouldn't stop people from having their phones, but when they were in the perimeter, they would be hit with blocking technology to keep that signal down and out.
Like they do at the hotels to make you get on their Wi-Fi.
Right, exactly. And then you're cutting off. You're also jamming all the normal drone operations, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz wireless transmission to keep any drones from flying around. And then your drone is flying around at some other frequency.
Yeah, and those mini drones you have with the control from your phone, you wouldn't be able to use because they couldn't establish a link.
Right.
So the jammer would be on that. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm surprised they didn't do that already.
No, and then
I was gone for a bit there because I just got a call from a coworker here that my base yard. Remember, I got called into work earlier, right? There was a murder down at the base yard. These two Tongan guys got in a fight where the one guy followed the other guy. The guy was cheating on his wife and took a machete to him.
Damn.
So, yeah.
I wonder if they're going to wrap him. I wonder if they're going to wrap them in banana leaves and put them in the ground and cook them like a hog.
Yeah, well, people wonder what happened because there's police at the base yard, right? I didn't go down there. I went straight up country to go to our equipment. The other guys came back and kind of forgot about it because I just got home for the show, right? And then that's what it was. The one guy took the other guy out with a machete. So. But they're just kind of bizarre and not funny, but amusing in the sense that just around the other side of the base yard, it's a big base yard, right? Like there's different businesses that have storage containers, sea containers, stuff around there, stuff like that. You got like the family kids playing around on the other side, like nothing ever happened,
Mm-hmm.
And police have the other side all cordoned off with the, forensic stuff, right?
Damn. Well, see, forensics. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, I mean, odd that we're talking have this particular subject, right? becomes real all of a sudden, right?
All right, listen. It's time to go. We're 20 minutes over time. I got to work at 5 in the morning. I got to get up. I'm not looking forward to it, man. But I'll try to be here at 8. And that's the only reason I'm going to get up that early, because I got to get to work and try to get my work done in an hour and 45 minutes. And it takes 15 minutes to get back to my house. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Right on, man.
All right. So I'll see you guys. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. So, hey,
I'll stay away from the Tongan wives.
Listen,
Yeah.
our website, our website's been offline now for a bit, and so I want to get it back online. So we all need to powwow so we can figure out how we're going to get this thing working and get it figured out. So, you guys have some time coming up this week so we can get it together, because, you know, Polly's show is on our chat room, and if our website's not there, the chat room's not there. So it's not there in the radio network either. So
Yeah, not to mention I'm paying for a chat room that doesn't exist.
that's what I mean. So that's what I'm trying to say. Let's figure out how to get it back there, but I just want to get it over there where we can work on it is all. Because I can't, get a hold. I don't want to have to get a hold of Chris. That's all I'm saying. I want to be able to just do some shit, and it's click and go over there on GoDaddy with our shit.
Yeah.
So I just want to put it back, but I mean, there's stuff that has to be done. I can't do it all by myself, and I need help with you guys figuring out what we're gonna do and how we're gonna make it happen. So.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, well, let's figure it out then. All right, you guys. We'll see.
right.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. I'll see you. Try to be here tomorrow on time. If I can't make it for some reason, it'll be tomorrow night.
A magnificent golden toad.
All right, the magnificent.
The plane, boss. The plane.
Oh man. All right, you guys ready?
All right,
Yeah.
well, everybody.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. We'll see you later.
Is he an egomaniac and turned into a Napoleon Bonaparte? I hope not. See, Trump is goofy looking, but he's toad-like. Toad-like. Trump looks like a giant toad, a golden toad. He looks ridiculous. Let's just be honest. Screw Trump. expected Trump charging into a goblin's nest to not get some goblin vomit and slop and blood on him. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. But if he's in there rolling around hacking him up and he's got a goblin guide, you know, taking him into the cave, I'm not expecting him to not get dirty, especially up to his ankles. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, having political succubus with goblins. I don't want to see him ingratiating goblins.